So let's.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's get started first. Okay. Next slide. Um, okay. Here's our agenda today. It looks a lot, but is some of them it could be pretty fast. And so I will ask that if you can, please keep your questions until the end of the Q&A sessions. And then let's start with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us together tonight to learn more about the Church Van Pickup Ministry. We thank you for this opportunity to serve you. We thank you for providing us the faithful drivers and the free vans. We pray that you will watch over the new and previous drivers during the service, protect them and the passengers, keep them healthy and safe such that they can all come to ECC to worship you together on Sundays. We pray all this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Okay, so first, we want to say welcome and thank you. We want to welcome the new drivers and thank you for joining the team. And hopefully you are ready to take this new challenge. And for the previous drivers, we want to welcome you back. And we want to thank you also for your past service. And hopefully you are also ready for another year of challenge, especially in this COVID situation. All right, and I would say just don't worry. Let's just give thanks to God and pray for His presence all the time. Okay, and I'd like to introduce our team members. For resource, we have a transportation teams that includes me, Kai Wu, and Alex Choi. And we want to thank you, Kai and Alex, to do all the maintenance work during the year. So we have been like coming over to church once a month to drive the van, make sure that everything is going, or the oil is moving around, battery is recharged, and doing general maintenance work. And then let's go through the requirements to drive that huge 15 passenger van. So actually it's not for the state, but normally whenever you operate a vehicle, you will need a valid Washington State driver license. And then from the insurance, the Church Mutual, they recommends we do the annual motor vehicle record check and background check also. And from the ECC's point of view, we need every drivers to complete and submit the church van driver application form to the Seattle office. So if you have not done that, you can do that in person on Sundays when you go to church. Fill up the form, I guess, and then submit your and the next one, and submit your driver license so that the secretary can make a copy and keep that in office. And we also want to ask you to update the office if there's any change to your driver license, if you renew the license, or if you change your address, or you even change the name. And also, we also ask that if you can please report to the resource. I have the email here. Report to us if there's any citation or accidents during the year. And that's not limited to the church van driving only. So when you drive your own vehicle, and if there's some unfortunate event happens, and we may need you to let us know. And the reason is, so in the application form, you see this section there. So the insurance company recommend us to avoid anyone that may have those kind of violation. So if during the year you have some of those violations that we may need to ask you not to drive the van. So we just want to make sure that we are following the insurance guideline, so that when, I guess, just to be more safe, I guess. Fine. And then here comes the most important part about the safety precautions. And some of them I didn't know it either. So okay, and if there's a D in front, that is for that's driver's responsibility. If there's an M there, that would be the resource transportation's responsibility. So, and of course, first we want to safety first. So everyone should put on their seatbelt, of course. And for the health, just ask everyone to put on their mask as needed. If you need, and if the weather's allowed, then you can roll down the windows also. And then, of course, we want to make sure that the drivers will not talk on the phone or doing any text during driving. And then this is an interesting one. I think it's also on the form too. And I also see that in some other websites. It said load passengers and cargoes from the front to the rear, taking care that all people and objects are in front of the rear axle. So there must be a reason, but I haven't found it out yet. Anyone of you know about this one? That was the reason behind that we want to keep everything in front of the rear axle. Anyone? Oh, okay. I will try to find that later too. Okay. And next. Okay, and it's a 15 passengers van, so we want to make sure that we have equal to or less than 15 people on the van. So we can't put more than 15 people in the van. So, and then this one also is new to me, and to keep the speed under 60. It's a most speed limits are intended for typical car traffic, not the larger vehicles that may require greater braking distance. So that makes sense. So just let's try to keep it under 60. And then the next one, okay, so it's this one say always get out and check behind the vehicle before backing up. So it may be difficult to back up if you by yourself sometimes. So it said that you can use both the outside mirrors and the spotter to assist you. So that way that will be probably safer. And also use the flashers to alert the nearby vehicles that when you're backing up. Okay. So this one says is substantially longer. The van is usually longer and wider than a normal car, so it requires more space to maneuver. It also requires additional reliance on the side view mirrors for changing lanes. So that is, to me, is pretty different than driving a compact passenger car. It's similar, but it's still different from driving a minivan. So if you had driven a minivan before, and so that will help a little bit. But if you haven't, then it's okay too. Just take some practice and precautions, I guess. Okay, and this is for both the driver and the resource transportation team. So if possible, check the tire pressure before each use, because we know that under pressure tire is dangerous too if when you drive at a high speed on freeway. And then, okay, the next few one is for us, the resource transportation team. When we do maintenance, check all the tires conditions, check the age, and there is some information suggests that we replace the tires every 6 years, or when the tires are worn out, whichever come first. So every 6 years is from the I think that is from the days that it manufactures. So you know when you get a new tire this month, the tire that you get is not brand new. It may be manufactured in the beginning of the year. The vendor may just have it in stock, but it just have not been used yet. So you can use that the TIN number on the side of the tire to find out the actual kind of like birth date of that tire. So for example, if you see that 4-digit number 1010, that is that tire is manufactured in the year of 2010 of the 10th week of 2010, which is in March. And then here is another link from the United States Department of Transportation that has some similar, and could be that there are more safety information about the 15-passenger van. So let me paste that in the chat window so that you have can get to it. See next. Okay, and then the last two probably is not that critical for us, but in general, for a 15-passenger van, I guess for a long trip, we want that they recommend that that you have at least 2 drivers, so that you won't be getting too tired. And I don't think we normally we will have trip that for that long, but if for some specific reason that there is a trip that they need to use the van for a long time, let us know so that we can do a more detailed check, make sure that it's ready for a long trip. Okay, then there are some statistics information from the insurance company. Is that they said a 15-passenger van is more likely than other vehicle to experience rollover, even if it's not involved in a crash. More than 80% of all fatalities in 15-passenger van crashes occur in a single vehicle rollovers. So it's taller, wider, so it's probably the chance to get rolled over will be higher. So I think that is another reason that it's recommended to drive under the speed of 60 miles per hour. And then there's some statistics here between 2008 and 2018. The 15-passenger vans were involved in 368 crashes, resulting in more than 500 fatalities. So, wow. 11% of the fatal 15-passenger van rollovers are attributed to tire failures. Okay. Okay, so that's probably why they recommend us to replace the tire every 6 years. I had been told that for passenger cars, replace the tire every 10 years, but maybe for the van, it's more critical for the tires to be replaced more often. Okay, and for the new drivers, we are going to arrange time for you to for training, actual drive the van basically, and Kai and Sean will coordinate these activities so that you can get more familiar with the children operation. Okay, so now we want to hear from the previous drivers, and I haven't get any email from other drivers. So let's see if there's any word of wisdom from any of the previous drivers. Anyone? Remember to unmute if you are sharing.
I think in North right now, Yang Li is injured himself, so he cannot drive van anymore. So we took his name out. So actually, I was a driver probably 15 years ago and drove for several years. Then we even had a different vans. Good news is for both vans, I involved the purchase, and actually, especially the second one, I did them alone when church needed vans. So I bought both vans for church. And myself, different driver has different experiences. So for myself, I know those vans, even though it's different from your passenger car, sedan, or even your own van, but actually when you drive it, you need to put some attention on those. Of course, number one, those vans, just like Hongzhen mentioned, they cannot accelerate it as your personal car. They are slow acceleration, which is a good thing. And that's how they design that way. Not just they are heavy, also they purposely design that way. So my first recommendation is for those new drivers, before you drive, when you have a chance, pick up the key from the office, get into the car to know those vans. Because if you drive Japanese cars, majority of your time, and this is a Ford, so the Tornado design is different. Even the function key location is different. For example, how to turn on the lights, the high beam, and how to turn on the wiper, windshield wiper, and the air conditioning, emergency lights. All the buttons they located at different places. So we have to know that. It is actually one of the dangerous situation is when you drive, the same time you try to find the function keys, and you leave your eyes off the road, and then at that split second, I saw a lot of accidents happened. So my suggestion is we have to know our cars, how they're functioning. And this is number one. Number two, we just said, I think Wukai gonna majorly monitor the new drivers being trended, and least once go with the previous driver for the route, and also during that time let the new driver drive. So the experienced driver just sit on the side to let the new driver drive one route at the least. So because I think every driving is there's some principles for safety drive. Number one is slow. Okay, if you speed up or you're driving fast, that's very easy to lose control. But if you're driving slow, that's okay. For bigger vans, you have to make sure when you back up, it's more challenging than your regular cars. Make a turns, both right turns, left turns, they are a little bit different. Even though this 15 passenger one don't make a big difference, that you have to put that cautious in your mind, especially during the small circle and the bumping. So you have to make sure that the vans need to be different. And also the van is higher, taller, much taller than your regular car. So when you see the road have a tree branch, it's low, or even you have a wire or power lines drop off, all those kind of stuff, you have to make sure, especially when you get into residential area, because those trees, they change. Wintertime can be trees, and the summertime or springtime, they're different with the leaves, they drop. So I think if you slow down, be cautious, couple of times later, you should be okay. Majority of people, you even gonna love those vans because they're sitting higher, you see broad. So that's my advice to know the van, how to functioning, and to know the route, and to be cautious and be slow. Another one is we pick up senior citizens. So that probably I let the previous drivers share if there are some specific requirements for some senior citizens. What do we have to, how do we assist them to sit in the van and make sure they all seated and buckled before you started driving away. I don't want somebody, they just get in the car's moving, they fail. senior citizens, they don't have much strength. Sometimes they really need the help. Some are great, some are not. So that's my two cents for advice here. Oh, by the way, if you got something happen, like the car got an issue, even broken down the road, like for some reason we've been running late on the schedule, don't rush yourself, and sometimes be safe of almost the first. I think all those basic instincts, knowledge, and the skill, and the awareness is exactly as what you drive your own car. I mean, that's no big difference there. But probably sometimes new drivers even more cautious. Sometimes we become think we are more experienced, we know everything, and sometimes that's dangerous situation. So that's the same thing as we drive our own cars. Always be cautious.
Sharon, how many passengers are there in the north area generally?
The passenger van is a 15, including driver. So before pandemic, we always running full. But right now, we just about sometimes 4, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, but not that many. Okay. So sometimes what I do is, because in north and south, they always have one coordinator. Okay, the north coordinator is a Sister Wu. She gonna have our driver's phone number, and she gonna notify us exactly how many drivers on Sunday. I think on Saturday she gonna tell us how many drivers. So
how many passengers?
How many passengers? Right now about 5 to 6, okay. Most of the time.
Okay.
So if most of the time, if they return back, is 4, and I use my own car to send them home. So I don't have to drive church van, drop them and come back, all those. So I drop them, I keep going north and go home. It's easier for me. Yeah. So it's very good. Sometimes even if they tell you, oh, tomorrow we just have 4 passengers. Sometimes we can do the same thing. We just drive our own car, pick them up, go church and come back.
Okay. I don't know that. So just make sure I don't miss anyone.
No, they're gonna give you the list, and she knows exactly where, how many, and where or which stop. North is easier than south. I think south is a little bit more complicated.
And is the north route longer, or is the south route is longer?
I think the south route is longer.
Okay.
Yeah, so far, because the north route just about 5, average about 5 passengers. So have 3 stops. So that's much easier. But there's a old lady who lives in Green Lake and in the residential area. If we have to pick her up, gonna take another probably extra 10 minutes and then done. So.
Okay. All right. And anyone else?
For the 2 vans, the south one is 1915. We put the aftermarket running board, which is that help the seniors step on and then get into the van. But for the 2017 North Route, it was built-in automatic one. So when you open the door, the automatic pop out. When you close the door, the automatically pop in. So make sure this works. Without a running board, if that happens by some reason, mechanical malfunction, something like that, we have to make sure those senior citizens, they have a strength to get into the van. I had that a couple of times. I don't know what the reason to turn it off, and only found it out and turn it on later. But several senior citizens, they don't have strength by themselves to get into the van. You need to help them. So that's why we need to check everything functioning before we go. And the winter time, I think that issue is still there. At the winter time, because the raining day, when those passengers, they have a wet shoes, they step into the van, and later more and more people get in, they get the floor wet, so it's slippery. And me and Junliang, we talk about all the solutions before. I don't know Junliang did something or not. One of the solutions we buy those stickers from Home Depot, just like people regularly have stairs, you put on the edge, those kind of stuff. So probably JJ, you can check on that one. So do Junliang did it or not? Otherwise, I still prefer we buy those strings from Home Depot to put several under the floor. Because the floor is kind of plastic; it's not a rubber even. So sometimes slippery. So it's very easy to. I mean, I'm worried about they're gonna fail because of the floor condition, because they got water in there.
Okay, what about? Do you think there's some kind of floor mat or anything like that that can help?
Floor mat can help, but the problem with the floor mat, if you get in too wet, and if you don't get it dry, it comes and get wet. I worry about the mildew build up inside. So we can discuss that later. Prepare for the winter time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the reason to know your car for every drivers, if you see any lights indicated, please report it immediately to JJ and or Wukai or Alex, and let them know. Especially JJ, you can send them an email. Say, oh, the car, I got an issue. The sun's not right. Which the lights in the warning light is on. All of those. Don't just forget about it, because otherwise next week, the next week are gonna face same situation, and the car will not fix themselves, gonna getting worse. And another thing is, there's a minor thing I need to discuss with Grace and the JJ here too. We used to have a gas station car and to fill the gasoline. Right now we have so many drivers. Holden brought that issue is we have so many drivers. It's not, if everybody, I don't know, probably either JJ or Wukai or how can we deal with that gasoline fill? Do we need to apply a car or not?
I thought we just pay from our own card, and then we film the reimbursement form. I didn't know about the gas card. I think about that.
Yeah, we used to have a gas car, Chevron car.
Okay.
Of course, they keep changing the gasoline, changing the identity. So
Okay.
the one thing is good is every driver, not every driver, you know, when they, I don't know how often we fill the gas. I don't know how when you fill the full tank, can we last for 1 month? I don't know. Some driver can give us more accurate data. So some driver, you know, have to fill the gas. Probably can happen to anybody because we don't know how often we need to fill it. But if we have like 15 drivers right now, if everybody just try to submit the expense, those forms and get a $50, $80 back. Sometimes I heard some driver feel the little bit of burden on that side.
So regarding church credit card, I will need to talk to Chang Tao and our bank account, and as well as Elder Sam regarding getting a church credit card, because right now, my church credit card, they will need to pull my credit as well as the church credit. And if the church does not pay for the invoice or the statement, I am liable to pay. So I don't know who else. Oh, I don't know if Elder Sam wants to run the credit card this way, or are we going through just apply for a corporate credit card? So I will need to talk to Elder Sam about it.
Yeah, I think Hongjun filled the gas last time, and he just gave the receipt to Wukai, and Wukai filed the reimbursed form. So probably we need one or two people just handle the reimbursed form. Everybody can use your own card, but don't lost your receipt. Just give it to Wukai or whoever right away, and then Wukai can file it, can do that. But it's not a credit card, it's just a specific gasoline station, gasoline card. We had that before.
Okay.
I was thinking, the corporate credit card is better, so you can fill the gas anywhere you want, right?
So normally these cards, just one or two keep in the office. So when the driver, because you drive for whole month, especially for the north route, next time you need to fill the gas. So you're gonna when you pick up the key, you pick up the car and fill. But I think right so far everybody use their own credit card, get reimbursed. So far it's okay too. But I just thinking we added so many drivers, probably need one or two people handle the reimburse to avoid it. I know some people don't like the paperwork.
Yeah. Another way is that if the transportation team can take this task, so if we were not notified early enough, then we can fill the gas tank on Sundays if we come to church. So that way it's always ready for the next driver.
Okay, I want to ask you, is Wukai here or not? Wukai or Hongbo, can you tell us for the south and for the north, if you fill full tank, how long gonna last for the van?
Wukai is not here.
Okay.
The best way is to, the church service people fill the tank, then the driver just drive.
Yeah, that would be easier.
Yeah, probably we need to find a pardon, like each full tank of gas can run 1 month, and then the 5th week we have somebody to fill it. So that will be easier.
And if we run it for a month or so, then we can see if it's a 5th month, then actually we can do it just a monthly.
Yeah, I think it should easily find out that the pattern, because our route is fixed, our time is fixed. Yeah, it's easier to manage it. And gas station is not that far from it's on the 85th and the 8th. There's a one.
Yeah. So it should be okay for the transportation team to fill up the gas, maybe once every month or something like that. Yeah, it should be okay. All right, let's move on and see what else I have here. Oh, okay. So Sean, can you lead us on this? You mentioned about a church van driver fellowship.
Yeah, I really actually I really little bit shocked is we have so many drivers driving the vans for so long. I mean, our previous drivers, I know majority of them, they drive for years, if it's not 10+ years. So, but I also realize we did not communicate that much between each other. I mean, we just fulfill our duty. But I feel like this is a constantly ministry to serve the church, especially serve the Mandarin elderly brothers and sisters. So for that service, I think we, if we have like some fellowship among all those drivers, will be good. We know each other, we encourage each other, we constantly exchange information. So especially we give appreciation for drivers who put so much effort and time for this ministry. So for the past month, we hosted 2 events, all outdoor parties, for dinner parties. One is for our worship and media team. Another one is for the usher team. So we did that for Mandarin. So I'm thinking if everyone is okay, we can find the time and outdoor for social time, for fellowship time. Of course, I don't know the COVID situation. If the COVID-19, our church group have a different revised advice, probably we need to follow too. And probably most likely gonna have some change for the I think the overnight retreat probably gonna have an issue. But if outdoor for the probably a lunch fellowship, we find a park, find a nice day, and church provided some food, and we just put that everybody together. We know each other. I think that helped for our ministry doing better in the future. And not all times are real nice drivers. We need a backup service. We need the backups. So also we need to exchange information. So I think it's one meeting like today. Now even less than, I think just half of the people attended. So I hope provided a better situation is more people can involve. I hope everybody can participate it. And so for the, I don't know, you guys think that's a good idea or not. If you do, we can find the time and to do that. And that's one-time event that in the future I hope we as a group, we have fellowship, we contact each other, we exchange information, put this is a really church ministry. So that's my thought, because we had 2 of those already. I think we had a very good result. Those people who participated, very happy to see each other face to face. Especially we got so many new drivers right now.
我觉得我们建个微信群就可以了吧？我们这里除了我陈长老都是兴旺爱的人呢。
No， 那个南区的交通车里面有很多，你比如说是Daniel 啊，Michael is here，傅尚贤、Kim Nam、Fred 这些我真的我们都没见过。微信群是可以啊，但是看这些人有没有。现在是南区跟北区，北边的话都是兴旺爱 ，Everybody's come from Faith Hope Now Fellowship, in the north side. Yeah, we see each other every week.
I do have a question for Sean and JJ and Wukai. Will you guys continue to be in this role for next year? Because there seems to be a lot of coordination among the drivers and the scheduling. So That I just wonder whether you especially for Sean, your deaconship is you will take a step down. So will you be continue into this kind of coordination role? And JJ, are you continue to be the resource deacon for next year too?
For me, I will be out, but I can continue to help out.
Oh, JJ, you are out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I will be out too, but when I called all those brothers to be a driver, I did not put myself as a deacon position. So no problem, I can still coordinate with the drivers, but for schedule wise, all those drivers, especially preachers, they just listen to Norway only. Okay, I contacted them. They said, "Well, let the Norway tell us what to do." So I realized right away, actually, because Norway is one put the schedule. When he put the schedule, when she put the schedule, it's for the whole year schedule. So I assume for the past time, it runs smoothly. So only thing we need to coordinate is if somebody is not available, who gonna be backup. So that's one of the fellowship function is we know each other better. And for the North route is easier because we come from same fellowship, we know each other. So I think a lot of people are willing to, almost everyone I think willing to help if the scheduled driver cannot do the job. But on the south side, I have I don't know more than half of those drivers, and so every time I got the issue, I have to call Daniel Chu because he's my wife's brother-in-law. That's the only one I can count on. So, but yeah, I think if Wukai handle north, south, I handle north. I think Wukai still coordinate no problem because he's doing that for a while and he's not in any position right now. Only JJ there. I don't know who will be the next resource deacon.
I don't know. We are suggesting Sising.
Oh.
He is a previous resource deacon.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I take over, he showed me around, but we didn't spend a lot of time on transportation because it was taken care by Jin Liang. So we just asked him on the maintenance stuff, but we are not involved in the scheduling at all. And when I take over, I was focusing on the computing, live stream, that aspects, and I didn't spend too much time. I didn't spend much time in the transportation area. So, but I can see that is actually there are quite a bit to coordinate too, actually.
Yeah, because the reason I called it because I called several brothers and almost all of those they are willing to serve. But I counted that we added 7 new drivers. Counted those they are taking round trips. So that means almost I think already doubled the manpower we had before. My philosophy is we have more people serve is good for themselves and for the church. Also, for every other drivers, we don't have that huge burden on ourselves. Also, because I recruited people can say the age is around between 50 to 60. Still, like my older Michael said, we're still old people. But this time, because COVID situation, if those younger brothers, they have little children, they have to spend the time with the children. So that's why this age, like our age, we have some years to serve perfectly for that position. But so still in the future, we need to recruit more younger drivers.
Okay. So for the fellowship, so for schedule wise, are you thinking about like bi-monthly or quarterly, anything like that, or?
No, I think number one, we can create like Hongjun said, account, whatever is a WhatsApp account or it's a WeChat account. I don't know. Everybody use WeChat. Create an account. That means we exchange information in that inside of the group. That's a fellowship one thing. Another thing is just for the one-time opportunity, put everybody physically together to say hi to each other, and the church give appreciation. We order some food, and we have a one-time fellowship, since we still have good weather in Seattle right now. Just like what we just did to our worship and worship team, media team, and usher team. Yeah, email right now is not that convenient. Not that many people really use email as constantly contacting information. It's a social media one. And so far, WhatsApp and WeChat, that's the most common one we use right now. But I don't know the south route, those brothers, what do they prefer?
Okay. Probably to ask and see. It's probably difficult because not everyone use WhatsApp, not everyone use WeChat, so it's.
I think WhatsApp one is more common for everyone, and as soon as you have a phone number, you can create a group, so we can exchange information there.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Alex Choi asked a question in the chat. He says, regarding the church credit card for gasoline, he says another suggestion is to purchase a gas gift card to leave at church office. I'm not sure if this will work for accounting, so I can check with Changtao as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think we don't want to make it too fancy or complicated. So like, I still think, for us, I don't mind the paperwork, so we can do the paperwork. I can do the paperwork, or I can do both, fill up the gas and get reimbursement. So it's not a big deal for me. So, and I'll talk to Kai and Alex to see if they will have the bandwidth to do that, or I can do that too. But it's just only once a month, so it should be okay for me at least. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, let's move on. And I have some pictures to show you. I took some picture this morning. Let's see. All right. So this is the 2010, the older minivan. It's a Honda Odyssey, and we only use it for pick up the church, the food. For lunch. You can see that from the picture on the right. I think they took out the seat at the back, so we only leave it empty, a flat area for all the tray of the food. Yeah, as of now, the battery is out. We are in the progress of replacing it. So, but it's not for pickup mainly. It's for picking up the food only. And then we have the 2015, the Ford van, and the 2017. And I took this picture here. I couldn't count the headrest to see if there is 13 there. So, but anyway, when you have a chance to go to church, and if the van is available, then try to borrow a key from your way and go take a look and take a feel about it. It still looks pretty new. Looks like it. Yeah. So that's the 2015 one, and the 2017 one is, I assume that is similar. I didn't have a chance to get into it and take pictures, but it's similar.
Yeah, it is exactly the same model. and
Mhm.
same brand and Ford also just 2 years apart. And this one's 2017 is a little bit newer. But this one for the model wise is a higher model than the 2015. That's why they have an automatic stepping board pop up.
Mhm. Okay. And besides that, any major difference between the 15 and 20 model?
No, it's same engine, same size, and same color. Everything is identical.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. By the way, those two vans are rear-wheel drive. So for our
Oh.
cars, majority I noticed that for our personal cars, either front-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. So when you drive rear-wheel drive on the winter time, for the slippery ice, the slow condition, you need to be more careful because if we stuck, easily could be stuck somewhere.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. All right.
So JJ, I do have a question. Since the 2015 van is already 6 years, are we considering replacing the tires soon?
Yeah, I will work with my team to check that.
Okay.
I
Because
didn't,
as you have mentioned, majority of the accidents is on the wheel. So I think we should.
yeah, I need to check the record
Yeah.
because we may have replaced tires before. I
Okay.
think I've
So
seen
if we have replaced, if these are the originals, I think definitely
No.
we should think about replacing them.
No, I need to check the record. I don't know. I did see the discount tire invoice before.
Okay.
But I will check that. Thank you for reminding that.
Right.
All right. Yeah. I need to check all three actually to make sure. Okay. All right. So here's our question Q&A section. Any other question and sharing?
Sean,
Yeah.
both cars are four-wheel drive or front
No,
wheel?
rear-wheel drive.
Oh, rear-wheel drive. Oh, so that's very strange.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
majority of those cars are rear-wheel drive, and they don't make a four-wheel drive. And if they do, it's gonna be more expensive, and also the fuel consumption gonna be huge. But in Seattle condition, should be okay. We've been using that for several years now. No, so far, I don't hear any complaining or any dangerous situation happening so far.
Yeah, if the road is very slippery, raining, it's dangerous.
Yeah, but we just be careful,
So JJ, you mentioned earlier that you would like us to check on the tire pressure. Do we have the gauge in the van so that the driver can check that before they start driving?
I'm not sure yet.
The transportation team do that, right?
We can, but tires. After you drive it for one trip or something, if you get a nail in there, you may not know it until the next day. So even if we check it this week, it may be different next week. So it will be better for the driver to at least visually inspect it, make sure if it's not flat. Usually I just press it on it with my two thumbs on all four tires. If you feel one of them is soft, then that probably is the tire pressure is low. So let us know so that we can check on that. But so we can check that monthly at least.
Yeah.
In case any tire doesn't have enough air, how to pump air in there? Go somewhere, you have some pump or something?
I don't know yet. I need to check. We just got a new charger, and I'm not sure if it includes a pump too. But if you before you drive it, if you find that a tire is low, let us know. Let the office know, and so that they can find us. and we can check that. And for me myself, if I drive my car to church, I have a pump in my trunk, so we can pump it up if needed.
I think it would be wise for us to, those are not very expensive items. My suggestion is that we should put at least for each vehicle a tire pressure gauge so that the driver can check on it. And we should purchase one of those pumping air in the office just in case if there is find out there is a low tire situation.
Yes.
Provided it's not a nail. If it's a nail, then we need to fix it. But the other things I was thinking along that way is what happened in the morning when the driver get to the church and find out that there is problem with the vehicle. Who should they work with the office, or who should they work with it? Because we need to inform the passenger saying that, hey, we have a problem with the van and we may not able to come and pick you up, or we may have to use other brother and sister vehicle to pick them up. So what do you have a procedures that you say, okay, if the vehicle is not operable or too dangerous to drive, what is our plan?
We don't have a procedures yet. So I guess right now, just let the office know so that Yorvay or Priscilla can get help. And I guess Yorvay, you can try to call us or call me or call Kai to see if we are there, because I may not be at church on some Sundays, to see if we can take care of it. Or you can ask Andrew in the Cantonese service; he's usually there. So we don't have a process for that.
But it's always good to have a plan B, you know.
Yes.
I remember a long time ago, occasionally something happened, like we delayed to pick passengers up, or sometimes we stuck at one place, take a longer time to load it, and so delayed for the rest of the stops. Number one, we have all those passengers' name and the phone number all listed on each car. So it's on the clipboard. It's on the driver's front area. Also, now I think Norway set up very good system is on each route, north and south, they have one coordinator for all those. So sometimes it happens like that, we have to notify the coordinator, and he or she gonna notify the rest of the group, say that, well, what happened today, we're gonna be late, or even we're gonna have a cancellation. So yeah, I think definitely I need to before. I think that it's office involved. At that time, every time when we driver pick up the cars, Norfolk and Priscilla is already in the office. Is that right?
For the north route, Sean, you are the coordinator, right?
No. I just if driver got something needs backup or anything, I can involve that. For the scheduling, for the other some issues like that, normally it's office like Norway in
Norway, okay.
Yeah. Also, all the drivers know Norway. I mean, they if they don't hear from Norway, they think it's not official.
Okay.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because we have new drivers. I mean, for us who have been driving for a while, we kind of know what to expect and what to do. But let's say if there's a new driver, if God forbid, on the first day of driving, suddenly he has some problem with the van and stuck on 80th Street. So we want to let them know, say, okay, if that happened, who should you first contact so that we can, so there should be a chain of things happening so that he would not be panicking. Say, oh, what should I do? Should I call AAA or what should I do? I think if we have a little bit kind of that information for the drivers so that they would know, okay, if I get stuck here, I'm not able to pick up the passengers, the first thing I should do is call Joe Fei, and Joe Fei will inform those people, let them know, and who will be, how to make other arrangement take care of the van and take care of the elderly.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I second Michael's proposal. I think we should have a solid executable plan B. So in case any emergency happens. So in regard to the personal vehicle, so is there a liability concern if any situation like the accident involved in a personal vehicle? I hope that's not going to happen. But in theoretically, right, it could happen. So it is my personal concern. So if we use our personal vehicle to take people, what if? That's my question.
If we use our personal vehicle to pick up passengers, so we generally, the drivers have their own insurance. So it's the driver's responsibility to make claims, right? It's not really involved in church one, right? So,
That is true too. Okay.
In the previous church that I worked at, they do, if the church volunteers is going to use their own car for church ministry, they do fill out a form. We need to ask if the drivers need to use their own vehicle to pick up the seniors. Do we need to ask them to fill out a form?
the form is fine. I believe the drivers take responsibility because the drivers decided to use your own car instead of church one.
My thinking that it should be an option for the drivers. Like me and Sean, we have been doing that. For example, if I only have 3 people going back, I say, well, let me use my own vehicle to drive that back. It's like, just like I say, I'm going to take care of the brother and sister and give them a ride home. The same thing.
Yes.
It's up to the drivers. Now,
Yes.
if the driver don't feel comfortable using his or her own vehicle, and rather use the church van, that should be an option for them. They should not be saying, well, there's only 2 persons. You use your car. Don't use the church van. That should be up to them to decide on that. Okay. Now, if they say, well, it's like Sean, I'm going north anyway. I'm going to pick up 2 of them and drop them off, and I'm going home. I don't want to come back to the church and drop off the van and drive. That is his decision making. I don't think we as a church should say, hey, there's only 2 people. You have to use your own vehicle. It's up to the driver to make that call.
I agree.
I guess the key is I know Joe Fei, because she worked in the office, she is kind of connecting all the parties. So I think that she will be, sorry, Joe Fei, somewhere you have to be involved, because the best way to contact is call the church, right? If there's anything happen. I'm not going to call Sean, or I'm not going to call Hong Jun, because even though I might know their number, but I don't want to do that. I think we should all have a central point. Say, if there's anything happen, call the church office, either Priscilla or Joe Fei. They will tell, okay, if you have trouble with the vehicle, this is what I'm going to do. In the meantime, I'm going to contact other people so that they can make an arrangement to pick the elderly. 对不对啊，岳飞？不好意思，把你放在祭坛上奉献给主啊。
没有问题。
I'm thinking that maybe we can form some kind of maintenance team from each congregation that Geoffrey can contact when the vans when someone report that the van has some issue, so that they can take a look and then decide if it's still safe to drive it, or if it's fixable. So that way we can tell if we need to let the passengers know that they may or may not be able to pick up, or it would be just late, that kind of thing, because we can't depend on just 1 or 2 person that to check the van when some emergency happens. First, that person may not be at church on Sunday. Second, that person may be on vacation, or it's basically just not reachable. So we need more backup so that we always have someone to take a look at the van whenever something like that happens. What do you think, Sean, or anyone else?
Well, before we just had Junliang take care of all those vans because he's really passionate on that, and he's really hands on that. So I think right now it's Wu Kai and Alex taking care of those. So we have two of those guys. I think so far, I think that's enough because those.
Well, I didn't mean maintenance. I mean on Sundays. So when the driver, before they come out, before they go out and pick up the passengers, if they find that, oh, the light there's some kind of warning light is on, should I still drive it? So they will go to the office and find your freight, and then we need some other people to take a look to decide to let the driver know that if it's still safe to continue on or not. So that's what the maintenance team I'm talking about. Probably it's not good with to use the maintenance team, but maybe inspection team or something. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think right now we have Wu Kai and Alex. Probably in the future, you or somebody else, the resource deacon, three of you, to handle that side. Because if you driver find something wrong, but Wu Kai and Alex been dealing with this vans before, or just last week what they did, and they know exactly what's going on. It's better for new one. If people don't know the van, even though you've been reported the issues, I don't think they have much more way to quickly think how to solve it.
Well, I'm glad that we have this opportunity to discuss this thing. So tonight, I think we should really consider this as a church ministry, right? We have so many people involved in the transportation, in getting the elderly people to church and send them off home. We talked about a lot of issues and good suggestions, especially Michael just raised some good thing, like come up with a procedure that is executable. We should run this ministry systematically in a professional way. So in the future, I would suggest that we have something in place, some step-by-step procedure in place, and that everybody have a copy of the procedure that we can easily follow, including everything, okay, on paper. So so make sure everybody's on the same page. So we're not just talking about something in the ad hoc, or we don't know what to do. Anything happen, we don't know what to do. So everybody just, hey, we know each other. We just call this person for help. No, that's not a good way to handle this kind of ministry, right? So this is just my personal, my 2 cents. So.
Well, there could be so many different things. So it's pretty impossible to include every single case.
Yeah,
See what I mean? Like
I
for the
understand.
warning light itself, there are like probably 10 different warning lights. So we can't put out what to do for each individual one. It's pretty impossible.
Yeah. So my thinking along that way is, we know Sunday morning is usually very busy for everybody. So even though if in reality it's going to hard to call someone and say, hey, can you come and take a look? And this light is on. I'm not sure. And besides, the person that you call on have to have that mechanical understanding of the vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, I say, well, I saw the light come on. I do not know. Let me look at the manual and I will tell you what they are. So I do think that because driving these elderly is important, safety is important. I do think that we should probably recruit some brothers or sisters who are mechanically inclined or they understand about. So if you tell them, hey, I saw this light come on, what does that mean? And he or she will say, don't worry, this is just telling you you need to change your oil. So don't worry about it. You can keep on driving it. But maybe this light say, well, the ABS system is not working. Okay, stop driving the car because that is serious problem. I do think that I agree with JJ that we should look into our congregation. Now, these people that does not necessarily have, but they will be a good consulting for us. Say, hey, Sunday morning when I start the vehicle, I saw this thing coming on. What does that mean? And this person can give us a honest reason. Hey, don't drive this thing. ABS is not working. Don't even try. Okay, or this is something easy, or just remind you that you need to do an oil change. I'm thinking along that way so that the burden would not be on the driver, because drivers already have to focus on picking up these elderly. I let someone else who are expert in this area help us so that this ministry can be run smoothly in a safety manner so that everybody. Now, I thank God that we have pretty new vehicle, 2015 and 2017. So the problem might not be that much in right now, but I'm looking long down the road. Vehicle become 10 years old, 15 years old. I've been driving the church van for many years, from the VW and the green van, all these kind of vans before. So we are blessed. The church has resources. We can buy good vehicles, but still, I think as a good caretaker of these vehicles and our elderly, we should think of a best way to take care of them. Now, I know there could be a million things happen to the vehicle, but we just do our very best, and so that the drivers don't have to worry that, wow, what should I do right now? I'm all alone. Who should I call? I just want to make sure that we have a little bit more comprehensive plan so that everybody will be on the same page and we know what to do. We don't panic. We just follow and execute.
Sean, how much the church pay for the new car, 2015, 2017?
Well, you sell today, you can make more money because the price is so. No, I kind of forgot. Actually, Michael's suggestion is very, very good. And at the same time, I'm thinking within our church, there are some brothers or sisters. They're even professional car maintenance or fix personnel there. So I'm going to talk to one person from Mandarin side. If you Cantonese side or English side, you have your own personnel. Please think about it. So probably I'm gonna talk to Wenping, and he used to have his own repair shop or maintenance shop business for so long. And I know he's very busy on worship team, but I gonna ask him if can he involve if the car got an issue, be maintenance consultant, something like that. Yes, that's a good suggestion. We need to put a more professional into the car's maintenance and repair side. Drivers just a driver, and then the first-time drive. Majority of the drivers, they don't know how to fix cars.
I think we are blessed in the past. Junliang is a very special brother. He is a talented musician, but he's also gifted in fixing cars, which is very rare. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are glad to have him helping us during the past couple of years before he and her wife went to Taiwan. So right now, I think that we have learned from our past that we do taking care and maintaining the vehicle in a good condition is very important. So I strongly agree with Sean that if we look into your congregation, whether Cantonese, English, and Seattle on the Seattle side, that we can find some of these good mechanics or people who are mechanical in mind, not like me, to help us. So that I think that will be great for our congregation.
So Sean, when do the drivers leave the church for pickup in the morning?
Right now, because we are not full loaded because of COVID situation, we thinking we leave at 8:45 should be enough, especially for the north. Definitely enough. I think in north even I think 8:45. It's a north. Is that time that right? I want to make sure.
I think North 8:45 is plenty of time but for Chinatown, probably 8:30 because you sometimes you have to consider about traffic going south. You never know what happened.
Okay.
Because in the north it's all local, so it's manageable. You already know, but when you go south, when you go on I-5, you never know. Sometimes it could be tricky. I'm thinking about 8:30 for southbound and 8:45 for northbound, or even later for the northbound.
Yeah, northbound right now, it runs very smoothly, but normally it's smooth on Sunday morning. 35 minutes should be enough. So we need 8:45 should be okay. But I still suggest every morning driver arrive at least 5 to 10 minutes earlier to inspect the car, to check the car. Especially in winter time, probably you need to warm the car a little bit too, and get the wiper working, and get there probably 5 minutes early to check the car. It's better.
And in the past, is there any emergencies happened before?
In the morning, the car cannot start.
Okay, is it that's mainly is battery problem,
But
right?
that's the old car. But I think that right now is better.
Okay. Yeah, we did get a new charger in the office, so we can jumpstart at any time if needed. But if we are if the battery is in a good condition and the car is driven at least like once a month, which we are doing it more frequent, then the battery should be in good condition for at least 4 to 5 years. So I will need to check the battery to see when it's getting close to the 4 to 5 years age, then we will need to pay more attention to it to make sure that it's still working, or replace it when there is a problem.
So JJ, according to
ahead.
that the 2015 ban should already have passed 5 years already. I mean, it's already 7 years now.
But the battery may have been replaced sometime in there.
Okay, and the 2017 ban is already 5 years too. So I think I honestly believe that even though some of these parts does not need to be replaced, but just for safety issue, 5 years, 6 years, we just replace a new battery to make sure that I hate to have the drivers come in the morning and find it's not starting, and then you have to jump start, and it worries them driving along the way, say what happened if you die again, right? So hopefully that those are replaceable items anyway. I mean, you need to replace them. So just sooner or later, if it's almost about that time, just replace them. My suggestion.
Okay, yeah, we'll think about that, and we can look at the history to see how often we do that, and then we just make sure that we do at least the same way at least.
So right now, where do you keep that record? Is it in the vehicle?
No, all the records are in a binder in the office.
Okay. So people can, whoever take over. So I know next year you're going to step down. So a new person come up, they can always refer to those records. Oh, in this year we have replaced the battery. We change the brake, things like that. Correct?
Yeah. I will look into that very soon too.
Okay. Thank you.
JJ, is it possible to put the record online? like in the Google Drive?
Yeah, but right now we have just all the paper. We need someone to do data entry basically, to put it into an Excel spreadsheet form or something.
I'm talking about like a Excel spreadsheet for each car with the maintenance records.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I personally did the same way. But right now what we have is just a binder of all the receipt and all the invoice for each service for each van. And they're organized in, I think it's in the sort by date, but we need someone to take those and then put it into an Excel spreadsheet and then put it online. So we have all the data, but we need someone to do the data entry basically. So
do we have someone that we can ask to help?
not yet, but I will do that. I will try to put that, because personally I want to do that too, actually.
No,
because right now it's a little bit hard to find the record basically. So you have to go through all of those and read them basically. So I want to do it the way that like I did for my own car too, in an Excel spreadsheet, nicely for each car, one spreadsheet, and by date you can see all the record. So that will be much easier. Yes, I agree, and we will work that.
Talking about the jumping start, so we also want to check with each driver and make sure everybody knows how to do the jump start. So and do it properly. So last year, I changed the battery myself for my car. I almost burned my fingers off. So it can be dangerous, I tell you, from a personal experience. So I hope there will not happen to anyone at church.
Yes, to do jump start or replace battery, you need someone who has done it before, who knows what how to do it. Yes, there's steps that you have to follow. Like for example, which terminal did you disconnect first? You have to disconnect the negative first, I believe. Yeah.
So Hong Jun, I know that from now on I should not call you to replace my battery.
Please don't.
Yeah, those are strict procedures that you have to follow.
It destroyed my wedding ring, Michael. My wedding ring for more than 30 years.
No,
Now you have an excuse to buy a new one now.
no wonder Sang was not happy. Okay. Actually, when we get into the winter season, that's the time to be more cautious. Because cars running very smoothly in the summertime, especially in Seattle, where not that hot, no problem. You can start it right away. You can drive it, leave it right away. But winter time is a time we really need to pay attention for every drivers and maintenance teams. Because the battery gonna change, tires pressure gonna change. If you have a severe weather, like a big raining day or snowing day, you need to drive more slow. You need more time to prepare, get the car ready and get the people loading ready. So yeah, when winter comes, it's a time we need to pay more attention.
Yes. So Geoffrey, is there any other examples that you can give us that what had happened before when what happens when about the vans? You remember?
Yeah, if cannot start the car, I will call I will have 2 leaders, one north one and one south one. So I call the leader. The car will delay how many minutes, or sometimes the driver is cannot get up or not show up on time. So I will call them. So and the other things.
Yeah. So beside the battery problem, any other issues?
Sometimes very frozen before the old car, the Chinatown, but right now maybe it will not happen because the route it will change, before the Chinatown, that one, some stop is very slippery, very slippery, to know the frozen tire. So sometimes we just call them, but that time the sister, they don't have a cell phone, so sometimes very hard to tell her just we cannot pick up her because the driver is not very comfortable to drive that time. So if the very frozen morning, so if the not comfortable to driving, so we can tell us. So tell us, if there is snowing day or something like, so we will cancel the.
My thinking is the same, Robe. Because this van is a rear-wheel drive. When the road condition is not ideal, is not good for the drivers to drive. Safety, as always, it should be our top priority. So I think we, sorry, JJ, I'm going to put more things on you, is that we want to think about that, is if the road condition deteriorate or is in danger of driving the van, we need to make some decision making. Say, hey, we even though the church is open, but we're not going to use the church van to pick up those people. I think safety is very important, especially in Chinatown, going south area, there are slopes that you go down, and I don't want to endanger anyone in driving in those kind of conditions. I think we should always think about safety issues. In the past, when I was the church board leaders, they told me to go around to drive the road to see whether the road condition is good to whether you can go to church or not. That's okay because I have a 4-wheel drive. But see, you don't have, everybody have a 4-wheel drive, and every road condition is different. Some road it's all clear. Some small roads could be very hard to drive. So I think we should always think about the safety of the drivers and the passengers in the winter time.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so then if the driver do not feel comfortable in the winter condition, in the winter condition that to pick up, then we won't force him to drive the van, of course.
Or maybe in some situation they cannot get out at their home, right? They say, I live on a slope. I can't get out of my home. I can't come and drive. So I think we should always consider those situations.
Yeah, I guess for winter, if possible, we should have at least for the winter month, we should have at least 2 drivers getting standby at least. If we still want to do the pickup, weather permitting. If it's snowing, then I think the church may actually it won't hold the worship service. So that's not an issue. Then we won't do the pickup. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we got a Tang Tao here, and she joined the team. We're gonna solve out some issues here.
She's going to drive the van on the north end. Okay.
Yeah, Suchin just told me, so you guys have some question on how to reimburse the gasoline expense. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, Chantal, we discussed whether church should apply for a gas credit card or a church credit card so that whoever needs to get gas can use the church credit card or gas gift card. Is that possible? You know?
So I think the last time, I couldn't remember exactly date, maybe when Jenny was in charge as administrator, we have talked about it. Yeah, so at that time, some people feel comfortable to use the a car which is purchase a car from the gas station, but some people did not feel comfortable because they say, oh, I don't want to every time come to church get the car, then go to the gas station, gas station to fill the tank. So it depends on how the people feels. So if you guys can say have a same opinion and like use church car, I could talk to the stewardship to see which car, like just cash car from the gas station or credit card. But for the credit card, they might have some concern about the credit card, but the cash card from the gas station probably might be better option. I don't know yet. Yeah. So if you agree same procedure to do it, I can raise your opinion to the stewardship.
Let me ask these questions. How often do we need to put gas onto these vehicles? How big a tank do they have? Are they 20-gallon tank or 15-gallon tank?
I don't know. Anyone else know?
I think it's probably 20 because Hongjun, you fill the gas for the $100 last time, or how much?
Hongjun left already.
Left.
Okay.
Okay.
My thinking is because we are worried about that there is not that maybe that the drivers don't want to have that burden in paying and get reimbursed, and the church is thinking, well, I mean, we're going to apply for a credit card, but the issue may be that what happens if you get lost, things like that. Now, if we are not going to put in gas every week, like for example, I mean, I'm thinking with the mileage that we're driving, maybe once a month. If we have a full tank, maybe once a month, we only do it once, correct? In the past, because we are not using this van for any other purpose right now, except just for Sunday purpose. So we are not going to use a whole bunch of gas. I'm thinking maybe once a month we need to do it. If that is the case, my thinking is just one of us can take care of that with you. I don't mind if you want me to. I just once a month I will just put in gas in there and get reimbursed. I don't think that is really. I don't want to bother other drivers and have them to say, "Oh, I need to put in gas," and that's. So if the drivers, maybe we can tell them that if you ever see that the tank get to 1/4, let us know, and then we'll make sure that we'll put in full tank of gas. That's all, right? Because that's basically it. You don't, in that way, you don't have to worry that every driver has to think of getting reimbursed, and then the church have to just for this occasion get a credit card for that. What do you think?
That's good.
I think that's a very easy and simple way to solve that issue. And for my driving 1 month, and then Hongjun take over, I think you fill the gas, definitely no problem to run for 1 month. So if we constantly just fill the gas 1 month or once every month, no matter how much they have a gas there left, build up a system like that, that will be much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the church credit card, is when you apply church credit card, is usually use a person's, need to check the person's credit to do it. So it's kind of complicated to get a church credit card for the gasoline. So yeah.
Let's make it easier for everyone so that we don't have to have people worry about losing the credit card or using the credit card and get reimbursed.
Okay, yeah, maybe so far, like we say, if you just once a month to fill the tank, yeah, I think I don't mind to reimburse everybody who fill the tank,
I know, I know for some other drivers it's a hassle, right? You have to pay first, and then you have to fill the form, and then you have to find Chantal, and you have to find me to sign, or find someone to sign, and all those kind of things. So let's eliminate that so that I don't want, I just want them to concentrate on driving. I don't want them to worry about too many things, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Other things. Okay, can we move forward?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, was at number 9. Oh yeah, that's good.
Right. Elder Michael, can you close us?
Okay, sure. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for all the brother and sister who's involved in this ministry. We know that it is important for us to be safe and taking care of one another, especially for all our seniors among us who cannot come to church without these transportation. Lord, we ask that you will continue to give us wisdoms, give us ways that we can serve you mightily, effectively, and safely. And most important, we want to thank you for all the brother and sister who has been involved in this process. May you reward them personally. We know that this is not because we like to drive or we have free times, but because we love to serve you, Lord. We ask that you will continue to bless our ministries. We thank you for all the brothers and sisters who's been closely involved in the past, right now, and in the future. May Lord, you continue to bless us so that we, through our service, through our serving of brother and sister, you show us how to care for each other, how to love one another. We thank you and we commit our time unto your hand and ask that you will be bless us. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
JJ.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.